will be Avery Covarrubias, who will lead things off for USC, batting .260 this season, .381 on base, 2 home runs, and 16 RBIs. It is windy here in Lincoln. It is chilly in Lincoln. If you woke up in Lincoln this morning, or really the entire eastern side of Nebraska, it was muggy in the mid-70s. A cold front pushed its way through it around 8:30 in the morning, has really dropped temperatures, brought cloud cover here into Lincoln, and we have been dealing with the wind and the cold all day.
Yeah, and it's kind of odd because it's been, high 70s, low 80s all week, and then obviously getting to Friday and not as happy as a Friday you would imagine, but nonetheless, we've got Big Ten baseball.
It is Friday night baseball on Big Ten Plus. First pitch misses to Avery Covarrubias for a called ball. It is 1-0. Katsky, the fourth-year starter, mentioned he's making his 7th start this season. Part of a really nice crowd here in Lincoln on a Friday night. 1-0 to Covarrubias, misses inside. 2 balls, no strikes. Katsky has not given up many walks this season. That's why the whip is as low as it is. 2 balls, no strikes. Katsky sets, looking in on Avery Covarrubias. Katsky sets in the 2-0 home. Bases high, top of the zone, 3 balls, no strikes. 3rd season at USC for Covarrubias, a junior from Anaheim, California. This is a USC team that is dominated by California talent on their roster, not having to travel very far to get to Southern California, assuming they can beat the traffic. 3 balls, no strikes. Katsky sets, 3-0 right down the middle for a called strike. It's 3-1.
This first at-bat really going to kind of set the tempo for today. Obviously, these two teams, 2 and 3 in the Big Ten standings. And a great start by Covarrubias to kind of work in that 3-0 count, now with a 3-1.
3-1 from Katsky. In the air, playing with the wind is going to be Sanderson. He's in foul ground. He makes the catch for the first out. This is a big series here in Lincoln. You mentioned this is 2 and 3 in the Big Ten standings. Nebraska currently sits a half game up over the Trojans. Remember, the top 4 seeds in the Big Ten tournament avoid pool play in the new format of this year's Big Ten baseball tournament. We'll talk about the standings a little bit later and the implications of other games and other series taking place across the league this weekend. But this is one of the biggest ones of the entire year. I'd say USC and UCLA a couple weekends ago was arguably bigger. First pitch is going to miss away to Isaac Cadena, and it's 0-1. They called it strike, 0-1.
Yeah, well, that's how you kind of want to restart. If you're Katsky, just get something in the zone here. Don't fall back behind the count.
Katsky sets. Deals the 0-1. That's hit in the air into deep right field. Back by the warning track at the wall. Not even running as the wind is going to carry it out of here. It's a solo home run for Isaac Cadena. His 3rd of the year, and USC strikes first.
Well, the wind playing in favor of Cadena, the lefty. And a beautiful job. You saw Grigo didn't even have to walk back. He just kind of trotted and watched it go over his head. And that's the thing that Katsky has struggled with, that we mentioned, the long ball, and it's got USC on the board.
Katsky has now given up his 8th home run in starts this season. Another look at it once more. It's a pitch very hittable for Cadena. 3rd home run of the year, his 18th RBI. 1-0 as Adrian Lopez steps to the plate for the Trojans. First pitch is going to miss high for a ball. It's 1-0. Lopez this season batting .294, 4 home runs, 27 driven in. Getting a fast start as well is so crucial for USC, a team that's been up and down on the road, who just struggled against Long Beach State on Tuesday. 1-0. This is down and away, 2 balls, no strikes, but dominated Iowa this past weekend back home.
Yeah, and that Long Beach State game, it was kind of the trap game for the Trojans. Obviously, when you get in conference play, those are the games that really, really matter. And, they don't want to drop a midweek game, but nonetheless, they get right back into the fire.
2-0. Misses low again, 3 balls, no strikes. They swept Iowa this past weekend, winning 9-2 on Friday by the dominance of Mason Edwards, who we'll see in the bottom half of the inning. And 6-3 on Saturday, and gathered the sweep on Sunday, scoring 5 runs in the first inning alone. to win 8-2. 3-0 again, right down the middle for a called strike. It's 3-1. Katski trying to sit in. You almost wonder if the wind and the temperature alone is making it to be a little more difficult than he originally anticipated, because it's chilly out there.
And I mean, arm's going to get a little bit tighter too. And
3-1. Misses inside, and Lopez is going to draw a walk.
There's a lot of distaste from the Big Red faithful here, and Jeter going to go out to the mound to talk to Katski. And, you know, just so far, I mean, Katski's had trouble. He's kind of put a lot of the strikes or any pitch that he's thrown at the top of the zone, and it's really either been at the top, painting the top, or just over by too much.
You almost wonder if he thinks that he's going to be getting certain calls, but he hasn't got them. David Condon is our home plate umpire tonight, calling balls and strikes. Well, brings up Augie Lopez. Lopez this season batting .277, 11 home runs, and 31 RBIs. First pitch is a called strike, and it's 0-1. Now Lopez has found the power in his bat. He has homered 8 times in the last 11 games, including 3 straight games with a home run. In those last 11 games, his hitting numbers don't look ideal, but the power is as they check over on Adrian Lopez at first base. In those last 11 games, he's slashing .261, .354, and .833. So the OPS is over 1,000 with 16 RBIs, but out of his 11 hits, 8 of them have been home runs.
Yeah, I mean, just so much power in the USC lineup, even further down.
0-1 misses away, and the count's even at a ball and a strike. This is a USC team that they've got a very animated dugout, love to be loud. Trying to get under the skin of Katski as quickly as they can. 1 ball, 1 strike on Augie Lopez. Katski sets in the 1-1. Called a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
The thing is, you know, USC, they've kind of seen the first couple at-bats, and now they're going to be patient, but this is where Katski can really open the window and kind of get those calls inside, because they're not going to swing. They're going to be a little bit more patient than you would anticipate.
Katski's 1-2 home to Augie Lopez. And a check over on Adrian Lopez. He's back in time. Just trying to keep him honest over there against a USC team who is as good as they are. You feel like you have to.
Yeah, I mean, for a pitching staff that's only had 3 pickoffs all year, it's certainly a good try to get another out.
Again, they look over at Lopez. He's back safely. Adrian and Augie Lopez going back-to-back. If you're curious, they are not related. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Katski looking in on Augie Lopez. 1-2 on the ground over to second. Stokes gloves, flips on to carry for 1. Over to first, in time, double play. Sits down USC. However, Isaac Cadena with a solo blast gave USC
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
Yeah, I mean, the slight edge that Nebraska does have is almost undefeated at home, obviously losing just a week or 2 ago to Kansas at home. But nonetheless, these 2 teams stack up really well.
It brings up Adrian Lopez, his second time up. First pitch misses inside on him for a called ball. It's 1-0. Lopez walked back in the first inning. Katski again taking his time out on the mound, which is unlike him. Here's the 1-0. This is high. It's 2 balls, no strikes.
And he's going to build the momentum into these at-bats. And, you know, this is kind of what it was with the first at-bat of the game against Covarrubias, and he's put himself in a hole. He's got to get out of it.
2-0 to Lopez. In the air, foul down the right field line. Well out of play. And it's 2-1.
Say the pitch location is slowly picked up for Katski again. Started with a lot of fastballs at the top of the zone.
He has mixed it up. Here's a 2-1. Right back up the middle into center field. And a leadoff single for Adrian Lopez. Brings up Augie Lopez. Now a 4th hit from USC in just the 3rd inning.
I mean, that one sinking in towards the middle of the zone, and that's a no-no. You can't put a ball there, and Katske is lucky that Lopez did not get enough underneath it, because that could have been another long shot, but nonetheless bringing up the other Lopez, Augie.
So Augie Lopez grounded into an inning-ending 4-6-3 double play back in the 1st. That retired both him and Adrian. And now the righty on lefty matchup is Augie Lopez takes a first pitch strike. He's gone with the off speed for those first pitch strikes. It's not been on the fastball. That's where he's seen his success.
Whatever you can do, whatever mix you can get, you have to attack each hitter differently. That's the problem.
0-1 to Lopez. This is down. Count even at a ball and a strike. Well, especially with a team like USC and really any team you face that's in the top half of the Big Ten and let alone the country, you've got to go out and throw your best stuff towards them to really get them on their toes. And I mean, it's no different against Oregon or UCLA. 1-1 and a golf swing for a strike 2 from Augie Lopez. It's 1-2.
Great job. Beautiful pitch there by Katske. Really bit hard inside, and you know, that's one of them where you're thinking, what did I see there? I mean,
Augie Lopez thought he was at the driving range. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Might be a little too cold to golf today. Katske sets on the mound. Lopez leading off at first, and Augie Lopez at home plate. 1-2. Augie Lopez checked his swing. They're going to say no. Worthley throw down to second is going to get by. Good job by Stokes covering the ground of Dylan Carey. The count's even 2-2. Augie Lopez didn't go around. Adrian Lopez takes second base, and they move a runner into scoring position.
All around, I mean, good on Jeter trying to make a play off of something broken. It kind of rolled off to the right, and a huge lead for Adrian Lopez off of first. You know, a great attempt to kind of glove it down, but even better to have the backup behind you, as that could have turned into something even worse than it already was.
Counts even 2-2. 53rd pitch from Katske, 2-2 misses away. And the count is now full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. I mean, USC has been super tactical at the plate. Very fundamental as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you have to do. Obviously, Nebraska changed up the rotation, so, you know, probably would have scouted this differently a couple weeks ago had they known. But nonetheless, they've done good coming out.
3-2 to Augie Lopez. Misses down low for ball 4. And it is the now 3rd free pass issued from Cooper Katske.
I mean, obviously USC is, I mean, what can't you say about a team that is ranked number 12 in the entire country?
I think the only team that really has bragging rights over them right now is UCLA. Takeuchi shows bunt, lays one down. Katske's going to throw to third, and they get the force out over at third. So Takeuchi will reach safely, but the bunt does not work to perfection, as there is now 1 out in the inning.
Smart play by Katske. Obviously, you know, when you see that play happen, the bunt was rolling towards first. They get it after 1 hop and throw down to third. So obviously, Katske ideally gets a runner further from scoring, but still a man on second on top of the one that just got added to first.
So it brings up Jack Basir, who had an RBI double back in the 2nd inning, again in prime position to drive in a runner, maybe 2. First pitch is a called strike at 77 miles an hour. You have a force at anywhere on the diamond minus home, where a double play ball would go a long way. Katske sets in the 0-1. This is away, counts even at a ball and a strike.
They're going to keep going back to the pitch count too. Now 58. We're not even through 3.
1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the 1-1. In the air, foul. Will land on top of Haymarket Park and roll off. It's 1-2. Fastball velocity was down at 89 miles an hour to Jack Basir.
Again, the weather kind of factoring in, tightening up. And again, it's still blowing in towards Katski.
1 ball, 2 strikes with 1 away in the top of the third. 1-2. In the air, center field. Moyer running back by the warning track. Moyer has it land over his head off the base of the wall. 1 run will score. Getting the stop sign at third and being held up was Augie Lopez. And it is a RBI double once more for Jack Basir, scoring. Lopez Takeuchi held up at third.
Beautiful swing, and I mean, again, that looked routine for Moyer until he got to the dirt on the warning track. Lucky for Katski that it just stayed in. But the Trojans are starting to add on every single time for Nebraska, you've really got to get the bats going once you get to the home half of the third.
Brings up Andrew Lamb again, who had a single in the second. Back-to-back RBI doubles from Jack Basir. Had 1 in the second, and then he had 1 in the third inning as well. Runners at third and second. Takeuchi standing at third base, and Basir is standing on top of second base. First pitch comes in for a strike on Andrew Lamb. Now, Josh Overbeek is playing in over at third base, as is Case Sanderson at first. 1 to Lamb. This is down. Count's even at a ball and a strike.
Again, they have the bunt in mind. Obviously, I would be very shocked to see any type of bunt, as there is some action in the bullpen.
Kevin Minnell currently up and throwing. He did not pitch on Tuesday against the Blue Jays. 2-2, or 1-1 rather, is going to miss. It's 2-1 now.
They do have multiple arms up in the bullpen, just one of them. I think they just have the 2 up right now, because obviously things have not gone Katski's way now with 63.
Through not even a full 3 innings. 2-1 is muscled foul to left side, and the count's even 2-2. It is Jalen Worthley, who's the other arm up and throwing in the Nebraska bullpen. That was an swing from Andrew Lamb as well. He just punches it foul to that left side, thinking, ooh, maybe it shouldn't have gone around there. Minnell has been doing more of just the true warm-up rather than Jalen Worthley is doing more of a stretch and toss. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Katski sets and delivers the 2-2. That's in the dirt again. Worthley does a good job getting all over it. The count's full.
Really love the defensive presence, obviously, of Jeter. But again, some of the locations for Katski have been there, but a lot more than, often it's been out of the zone or just not in the greatest spot for Worthley to really catch on to anything. It's kind of put them in this hole.
Off pitch, misses high and away, and Andrew Lamb is going to get walked to load the bases, and Will Stickney comes up with only 1 out and ducks on the pond. And that is the 4th free pass issued from Katski.
A lot of mental warfare for Katski right now. We mentioned he was just at 63, now up to 66. Again, still not even through a full 3 innings. This is where Nebraska's really got to rely on him to get through this. Maybe they're going to have to bring in some later on.
First pitch comes in for a called strike on Stickney. It's 0-1. It's going to make you wonder as well, is this a factor with short rest for Katski? That he didn't have a normal 5-6 days, he only had 4. Bases loaded for USC. The 0-1 to Stickney. In the air, right center field. Grigo running over. He's back by the warning track. He makes the catch. This is deep enough where Takeuchi will score. Throw into third is going to be on time, and sliding off the base is Jack Basir. So a sac fly that ends up being a double play as well. The run for USC should score because he came across the plate first, and it's 5-0 USC, but we go to the bottom of the third on a wild play. Here it is again, out in the right center field. Grigo does a good job making the catch, but Basir had such a late jump that you can score this as a 9-4-5 double play. We go to the bottom of the third here on Big Ten Plus.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
My gosh. Painting the outside corner on the changeup. I mean, it's pretty to watch him pitch. It really is, and it's a treat to watch a guy like that pitch that you know is going to be a big league product. And Nebraska saw it with Brett Sears 2 years ago. They saw it against Justin Jerwa and Michigan State last season in the Big Ten baseball tournament. And now seeing it this year against Mason Edwards. It's really fun to watch some of the best pitch.
Buck will foul. The 0-0 off to the right side and into the parking lot behind Haymarket Park. As of late for Buck, 4 strikeouts in his last 2 games coming into today, and obviously struck out back in the 4th and reached on a single in the 2nd. An average just above 300 though, as he swings through the 0-1. That was low, and still some filthy pitching coming from Edwards, who hasn't really slowed down. I mean, obviously a little blip in the radar in the past couple of innings, but nothing too major. (0-2) to the left fielder, Buck. Swung on down the line and foul. Takeuchi giving chase to that one as the wind finally picking back up here in Lincoln. Pushing again toward that right side. It had died down midway through the 5th.
Like they were saying, died down, and the winds are still getting whipped out there in left field. They're just not getting whipped as hard.
0-2 once again to Buck is upstairs, and Gadino loses the mask in the process. So now 1-2. Buck singled and scored against Creighton on Tuesday. Game that saw the Huskers kind of start off hot in the early innings before everything died down. Bit of an odd game because a lot of the offense came in the first 3 innings, and then since then, I mean, Nebraska's pitching staff came out and dominated.
Yeah, I mean, they really have. It's been more so Worthley has gone out and dominated today.
It's exactly what Nebraska needed after Katsky had been chased, giving up 5 runs. As Buck drills this one into left field, it's going to bounce its way towards the wall. Buck is going to go into second with a stand-up double. Coming around third and scoring is Sanderson. An RBI double has put the Huskers on the board, and a beautiful swing from the left fielder.
Really. And when you got something like that where it's a pitch breaking in, Jed Buck, he's going to drive it a long way, and again, that's...
But now this Nebraska crowd has been reignited into this one.
It's Will Jeske who's going to pinch hit. That's been kind of their question at DH all year. Who would it be? And Jeske's came up in some big moments for this Nebraska team, and he gets a hittable pitch. He was big in the game against Auburn. He's got plenty of home runs to go around. Batting .366 for a season, and now his 17th game.
Obviously, haven't seen a ton of Jeske as of late. He is slowly starting to work his way back to 100%.
Jeske's going to make you pay. I think Mason Edwards knows that as well.
Jeske's so hot as of late. 3 straight games to hit. So he'll face the first strike of the at-bat.
Talk about a player that's grown in confidence as well ever since showing up on campus.
Swings and fouls this one off to the right side.
He was sitting fastball. A very, very early swing. He's very lucky he even got a piece of the bat on it because he was sitting on the fastball ready to drive it.
Edwards now with 85 pitches on the day. Fires. This one swung on and missed. Jeske wasn't ready for it. And now the second out of the inning as the pinch hitter retired, and it'll go to Drew Grigo, maybe who the Huskers need to ignite a fire.
And strikeout number 10 for Mason Edwards. Another breaking ball that fools Jeske, as it's fooled so many other Nebraska hitters tonight.
Oh for 2 is the right fielder Grigo, as the first pitch he sees. Losing the command is Edwards that time. A ground out in the second and a strikeout back in the fourth. Man at second is swung on and missed that time from Grigo. Huskers still trailing 5-1. Swing and a miss again that time from Grigo, as Edwards has worked his way back into it.
It's that changeup once again. I mean, he's a 3-pitch pitcher. He's not really bedazzling you with much. He's not blowing much by you. But he's so efficient. It does, again, it's the good job of tunneling a pitch and being able to locate it. It's his accuracy.
Grigo drills this one into shallow left center. It's bouncing and rolling towards the wall. Butt comes in to score from second, and up with a stand-up RBI double is Drew Grigo. The Huskers have started to cook here.
Another RBI double. It's a good pitch hit from Drew Grigo. You split the gap in left and center field. You bring home Jet Buck. Put a second run on the scoreboard. And again, Mason Edwards is a really, really good pitcher. He's had outings like this before. And right now for him, it's all about getting that final out in this 6th inning and leaving it at 2 runs.
Still no major movement or developments in the bullpen for the Trojans. Edwards slowly creeping towards that 100-pitch mark as Overbeek wanted to take that one out. Oppo trying to swing for the fences there.
Keep in mind, Edwards threw 118 pitches against Iowa last Friday night.
As Overbeek fouls the second pitch he sees off that time, so a very aggressive start to the at-bat for the third baseman.
So I'm the least bit shocked if they leave Edwards out there in this inning. I could see him even starting the bottom of the 7th inning as well.
Overbeek swing and a miss, drop third strike, kicks away from Kadena, and Overbeek is gonna make it to first.
They're gonna say he kicked the ball. They're not even gonna say he got awarded first base. They're gonna say Overbeek kicked the ball away, so the drop third strike doesn't even matter. And I don't know if Will Bolt's gonna go out and try to contest it or gonna try to argue it. Doesn't look like he will.
So the Huskers are able to put up a 2 spot here in the bottom of the 6th.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
2 walks and a K. He hasn't registered more than 2 strikeouts since March 13th when the Huskers were playing Maine. But he's got 4 multi-strikeout games on the year, so maybe some relief coming in for the Huskers. But again, the matchup is between him and the batter with the opposite side hand.
So he'll face Kevin Takeuchi first. Runners at second and third. One out here in the top of the 7th inning for the sidearm righty. Infield plays in. First pitch to Takeuchi, shot foul. Watch out in the USC dugout. Zone 1. Takeuchi today 2 for 3, had a single in the second. Bunted his way to first in the third. And flew out to center field his most recent time up. 0-1. Takeuchi down the third baseline. That's a base hit. 1 run will score. Coming around third and scoring will be Adrian Lopez. And getting caught up between first and second now is going to be Takeuchi. And he is caught in a rundown, and this will not end well for him. He gives himself up for out number 2. However, it is 2 runs coming across the plate, 7-2 USC.
Not the smartest base running, but it gets the job done. The 2-run score quickly. Again, down the line and past the stretched out Overbeek. And nonetheless, it has extended the USC lead, pretty much erasing the 2 runs that Nebraska scored back in the bottom of the 6th.
So Jack Basir comes to the plate. First pitch to Basir, misses high and tight for a ball. It's 1-0. Misses away. 2 balls, no strikes at 89 miles an hour. Currently no one throwing in the Nebraska bullpen. The USC bullpen does have a few guys out there getting loose. As we said, we wouldn't be surprised if Mason Edwards came out in the 7th inning, over 90 pitches. 2-1 comes in a called strike. It's 2-1. Been a really good day for USC offensively. 7 runs scratched across the plate. Trying to hand Nebraska their first conference loss at home. 3-1 cut on and missed. It's now 2-2.
Talk about how strong, USC has been compared to last year. Jack Basir, when playing Nebraska, went 1 for 5.
2-2. On a line, that's into left field. And another hit for USC. Basir will be a little more intelligent on the base paths and not try to take second. 2 out, single for Basir, bringing up Andrew Lamb.
Yeah, obviously we saw the pickle that had just occurred an at-bat before, and another good swing by the Trojans there. They have really just taken bat to ball, placed it in really good areas. There haven't been really many swings where they've been off on contact. They've really just done a great job.
Andrew Lamb steps in, first pitch to Lamb, over the heart of the plate for a called strike. It's 0-1 at 81 miles an hour. Lamb today 1 for 2. Walked in the 3rd, had a single in the 2nd.
Do have to mention he's sporting the no batting gloves as well.
That's rare. You don't see that a whole lot nowadays. 0-1. Lamb the other way into left, coming over and making the catch is Jet Buck. So 2 runs cross the plate.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
That in mind is Dylan Carey. First pitch to Carey, swing and a miss. 0-1. Now you go from a lefty throwing 91, 92, 93 on the hard stuff to a righty that throws 94. A bit of a different look. Carey has a pair of strikeouts and a double. 0-1 to Carey. Fouls it off into the screen. It is now 0-2. So obviously a different look. Much different look.
Yeah, again, Carey's trying to get Nebraska back in it with 1 swing. Again, he's had power today, but struck out twice as well.
Carey goes down swinging on 3 pitches. 13th overall strikeout for Nebraska bats, and a trio of strikeouts for Dylan Carey. 1 away here in the bottom of the 8th to bring up Jet Buck.
Yeah, it only took 3 pitches as well from Lawrence at that time. So if you're coming out of the USC bullpen, you have a game plan to attack Nebraska. You've seen it all day long. And Nebraska obviously going to try and finally punch something across. Again, Edwards was kind of the thing that was holding him back.
First pitch to Buck, right into right center field as he punches it the other way. Buck trying to go for extra bases. Throw into second is going to be offline. A stand-up double for Jet Buck here in the 8th. 3-hit day for Jet Buck. Had an RBI double in the 6th, had a single back in the 2nd, and then tacks on a double here in the 8th.
Yeah, top of the zone pitch that he got every stitch of and drives it into that right center, like you said, and it brings up Will Jeske for the 2nd time today, a guy who has been a big bat, just obviously 0 for 1 today with a strikeout.
It's been a big talk for the last couple of weeks of what does the DH role look like for this Nebraska team. We've seen Max Butin back in the spot. We've seen Will Jeske. Cole Kitchens got the start today. Another name to keep in mind is Mike Miller, who's worked his way in that spot as well. Preston Freeman has started a couple games there at the DH spot. They just don't have the consistency. which is so unique to say that they have consistency everywhere else in the lineup. 1-0 misses, and it's 2-0.
Be upset with anything that's really gone their way. I mean, Jeski's just going to have to work his way back into the lineup, and there's no doubt that he will do that in due time.
2-0 to Jeski. This is for a ball. It's 3-0. No appeal on the swing either. Jeski held up the best he could.
Yeah, and they're getting the crowd into it too here at Haymarket Park.
Well, why not? A little rally in the 8th inning. Husker fans would love that. 3-0, no green light for Jeski, so he takes it for a ball. It's 3-1.
Walk-offs for this Husker team this year too.
Why not over number 12, USC? I think that's what they're probably saying in the dugout. 3-1. Swing and a miss. So the count runs full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Talking about a guy trying to make an impact play. Will Jeski's one of them. Swinging for the fences. There's USC in front. 7-2. 3-2. Swing and a foul tip. Jeski stays alive. And we'll do it once more.
What's odd is Nebraska is now leading the Trojans in hits. It's 10-9 Huskers in terms of hits. But nonetheless, I mean,
the 5 walks that have been allowed by Nebraska pitching. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 3-2 once more to Jeski. Fouled off. I think if you go back and you look at this game, you're not going to even think that Mason Edwards allowed 9 hits through 7 innings. You're just not. Now, he got help with a couple double play balls, but the amount of strikeouts that he had, I think, is what you're going to remember more than anything else. 3-2 to Jeski. In the air, foul to the right side. And is going to run out of play. And we'll do it once more. Heck of an at-bat here from Will Jeski.
That's exactly what you need, too. I mean, towards the bottom of the order after him, he's got Grigo, and bottom of the order for Nebraska has been powerful in recent games. But of course, Jeski, I mean, what a time, you know, one of the leaders for this team to really have a gritty at-bat here.
3 balls, 2 strikes. 3-2 to Will Jeski. Down and away, ball 4. That brings up Drew Grigo. Grigo grounded into a 4-6-3 double play back in the 2nd. Had an RBI double in the 6th. And runners at 1st and 2nd. Now keep this in mind with Mason Edwards. His day is over, but coming in today had 7 double-digit strikeouts and 6 quality starts over the 9 starts he had. As there's going to be a pinch runner now for Will Jeski. But Mason Edwards now at 8 double-digit strikeout games and now has 7 quality starts. Strohmeyer is going to be the pinch runner for Will Jeski. First pitch is a called strike. Strohmeyer, this is only his 7th game played this season. He comes in again in a pinch running opportunity. 0-1 to Grigo. On the ground, gloved over at first. On to second for 1. Not able to get back over to the first base bag because Lordson hadn't tagged it yet. Runners are going to be at the corners with 2 outs as Grigo beats it out down the line for Josh Overbeek.
I keep going back to Nebraska trying to build momentum, but I think if they do get some runs across here, the turning point is going to be that walk from Will Jeski. I mean, very long at bat, and after throwing the bat straight back to the dugout, a couple of head shakes as in yes. I mean, this Nebraska team can't count themselves out. You know, every fan here in the park is not going to count them out either, and USC can't do that either. I mean, it's a team that has been very dangerous late in games, but talk about a guy who has to get back on track in this one in Josh Overbeek.
Overbeek, a pair of strikeouts today and popped out to first base. His first time up batting from the left side of the plate. First pitch is a called ball.
I mentioned the left side of the plate, the switch hitter that Nebraska has had.
1 ball, no strikes on Overbeek. Runners at 1st and 3rd. 1-0 from Lordson. Hit in the air deep into right center field. Back by the warning track, at the wall, it's gone!
USC kind of erases that momentum with 2 of their own in the top of the 7th. Now the 3 spot in the bottom of the 8th. What a tide turn for the Huskers. And again, I mentioned it earlier, the 9-hole catalyst of Rhett Stokes, a guy that's batting close to 400 in the 9-hole.
First pitch to Rhett Stokes, call the ball. 1-0, Stokes shows bunt, pulls back, call the ball. 2-0. USC has nobody warming in the bullpen right now. Nebraska has a few guys up and moving if they want to get there. Gavin Lordson's 2-0. Stokes again shows bunt. That time it's a called strike as he pulls back. It is 2-1. Seven to 5 USC on top of Nebraska. 2-1 to Rhett Stokes. That's going the other way into right field. It will drop for a base hit right in front of Basir. Second hit of the day for Rhett Stokes. And back to the top of the order in Mac Moyer. Tell you what, I've been doing this for a while. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. I'm saying that now. I've been doing this for a while here, Sam. You know that. And you guys love to tell me that I've been here for a while as well. But
very true.
Besides the point, it's the ultimate thing of anything can happen. And Mac Moyer, with 1 on and 2 away, takes a first pitch strike.
The entire atmosphere has just completely, shifted, flipped. This crowd went from in a lull to very awake and ready to go.
0-1 to Mac Moyer. Misses outside for a ball. It's 1-1. And if David Condon doesn't get a call right, in the eyes of Nebraska fans, they will let him hear about it.
Yeah, they haven't been shy to doing so all day long. And this is a game that's very tight now.
1-1 from Lordson. Called a strike. Right on cue. But that's my only guess. A ball and 2 strikes on Mac Moyer. Lordson delivers. This is away. The count's going to run even 2-2.
The entire conversation there with Will Bolt was obviously protect the zone if you have to, but be smart. Watch the ball here.
2-2 to Moyer. This is down and in, and the count's full. On deck is Jeter Worthley, who's 1 for 4 this evening. Lordson's racked up the pitch count. Over 20. Trying to get under Lordson's skin. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Moyer. The 3-2. Ball 4.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
Another hit. His on-base streak has reached 9 games after he got the single in the 6th inning, but he's got the trio of strikeouts in the 1st, 3rd, and 7th, all against Mason Edwards. First pitch from Adam Troy to Case Sanderson, misses for a ball. It's 1-0, so he's going to face the closer, and I don't think USC is going to want to have another guy go out there and try to pitch on the mound outside of him.
No, because you got to play 2 more games. That's the big thing. Don't use up all your arms.
First pair, 1-0. Call the ball, it's 2-0. Ty Horn is beginning to make the stroll out to the bullpen, as they will let him pitch in the 10th if push comes to shove. Troy sets to Sanderson in the 2-0. Called a strike. 2-1. 93 on the radar gun.
Another guy who's got to get back on track. I mean, one walk or one double away from new career highs for Case Sanderson.
2-1. Sanderson the other way and foul. Has the count go even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 more games of this series with so much impact. Grant Govell pitching tomorrow for USC. Carson Yasa for Nebraska. That should be another just fun pitching matchup. 2-2 to Sanderson from Troy. Runs inside, the count's full. Well, he is the team leader in walks. I think he'd be okay getting on with taking his base.
I think every Nebraska fan would be pretty happy with that.
Troy sets the payoff pitch to Sanderson. Up the middle, off the mound. This is going to get into center field, and Sanderson is safe, going off the glove of Risky. It took a unique hop on the back half of the mound, and Risky couldn't read the spin correctly and shoots up his glove into center field, and here's Dylan Carey, the tying run.
I mentioned Overbeek earlier, guy who needed to get back on track. Now talk about a guy like Dylan Carey. A double, nothing since. 3 strikeouts in a row since. But another guy with power. Second best hitter on this Nebraska team behind Mac Moyer. Watch out for what happens in this at-bat.
They've got the shift on for Carey. First pitch to Carey, swing and a miss. It's 0-1. 3 infielders all on the left side of the infield with Takeuchi, Risky, and Covarrubias all over there. Troy sets the 0-1 to Carey. Inside and a high hop. Sanderson's going to be able to get second base. Gets there safely. Sanderson holds at second. That ball went probably 25 feet in the air, Sam, and when Sanderson saw it shoot straight up, he knew he had a chance.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the biggest thing is Cadena not knowing where it was. I mean, that's, you know, whenever your catcher doesn't even know where the ball is, that's the captain of the infield, and he's got to find it. And so an easy advance for Sanderson. If it had rolled a little bit more, everybody in the park was kind of reaching for that third base, but a great job and smart base running by Sanderson just to take what he was given.
A ball and a strike to Dylan Carey. The 1-1. Called a strike on the outside corner. It's 1-2. Sanderson now in scoring position. Carey at home plate is the game-tying run. The winning run is standing in the on-deck circle, who is Jet Buck if Carey were to reach. One-two to Carey away, and the count's even 2-2. Oh, big-time moments here. Big-time moments for both of these teams, fighting for regional spots, fighting for top 4 spots in the Big Ten standings. The 2-2 to Carey. Up the middle is going to be eaten up again. Throw to first. It's the call. They're going to say he's safe, or they're going to say he's out. They're going to say he's safe. Carey's safe at first. Troy sets in the first pitch to Jet Buck. Didn't go around. It's a called strike regardless, though, as he got a part of the zone. Currently holding a bat on deck is Reed Strohmeyer. I would be shocked if they let him swing, having 2 at-bats all year. Swing and a miss from Buck. He's down 0-2. Now, I'm sure Strohmeyer's thinking they're going to have probably Max Butenbach or Preston Freeman pop out of the dugout and take over. No balls, 2 strikes. Troy sets on Jet Buck, the 0-2. In the air, deep into left field. At the warning track, it's going to be caught. 1 run will score. Case Sanderson on the sac fly, as it will be Strohmeyer who comes up, and the tying run remains at first. That is out number 1. Looked like Jet Buck might have been able to get all of it. Just missed it. And as Strohmeyer was walking out there, it is going to be Preston Freeman who pops off the bench, and he is now the winning run standing at home plate. They lost 7-6 and they lost 5-4. I think they'd like to avoid losing another 1-run game. They want to check over on Dylan Carey, unable to catch the ball at first base. It was Adrian Lopez, and they're going to let Adam Troy hear it. I think, unless this game gets tied, it's Adam Troy's ball game through and through. It almost has to be.
I don't see why USC, I mean, they bring in one more arm, maybe, but I really don't see it either.
Swing and a miss on pitch number 1. Preston Freeman sees, and it's 0-1. Freeman this season batting .192. 1 home run, 5 RBIs. The tying run standing at first base in Dylan Carey. The winning run is currently standing at home plate. They check on Carey again. I almost wonder, is this Adam Troy trying to buy more time for whoever's getting loose in the USC bullpen?
The thing about Freeman, though, is he started against Creighton on Tuesday, but he's 2 straight games without a hit. He scored a run in both of them.
Time is called as something landed right in front of home plate. David Condon said, "That's my time, we're good." No balls and a strike on Preston Freeman. 0-1. This is down. Counts even 1-1. Freeman from Floresville, Texas. Originally at Cisco College before he made the move to Lincoln, Nebraska. A ball and a strike with 1 away. Freeman, the winning run. Carey at first, the tying run, the 1-1. Down and in, 2 balls and a strike.
Freeman, in his time at Cisco College, too. 349 average, 16 of those doubles, 9 triples, too, an all-conference pick with 49 RBIs.
Trying to channel some of that. 2-1. Off the end of the bat and foul. The count's even 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Really late on that one, too. Again, off the end of the bat, too, but
very late. Currently on deck is Drew Grigo. Not a hometown kid, but close. Bellevue, Nebraska, about 45 to 50 minutes away from downtown Lincoln. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Adam Troy wants to check over on Dylan Carey. He's still there. Nebraska fans are going to let Adam Troy hear that as well. 25 pitches. That's the 25th on the way. Again, they check over. It's just a little comedic at times hearing them groan towards Adam Troy. And now a defensive adjustment is going to be made as they're shifting over Covarrubias over at second base. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Freeman. Troy sets the 2-2. Misses high, and the count is full. One run is already in here in the bottom of the 9th. And the tying run standing all the way over at first base. Troy at the chest, 3-2 to Freeman. Called ball 4. The winning run now on first. What an at-bat by Preston Freeman. Adam Troy has runners at first and second. First pitch to Grigo, high and away, ball 1. Grigo this evening, he is 1 for 4, had an RBI double back in the 6th. Tying run standing at second base. The 1-0 from Adam Troy. In the air into right field. Drifting over and making the catch is Urban. Carry tags from second to third, and the tying run standing over at third base for Josh Overbeek.
What a finish this is turning out to be. And I mean, a guy who we all know what happened last time he was at the plate. I mean,
it wasn't off Adam Troy. It was off Gavin Lordson. But this is pretty much the same spot, if not bigger. Now a ball getting down will tie the ball game. Josh Overbeek had a pair of strikeouts in the 5th and 6th inning and then delivers with a 3-run home run in the 8th. That cut it to a 2-run game. First pitch to Overbeek. On the ground, foul down the third base line. Had that stayed fair, the game would have been tied and we could have been playing for extra innings, or Rhett Stokes could have been playing to walk it off. Stankiewicz is out of the dugout now. He's not going out to make a pitching change. He's going out to talk defense.
They're moving, again, they're moving Covarrubias around. They pushed him back into shallow right.
There's a large gap between first and second base for Josh Overbeek.
If he pulls this.
0-1. This is high. Counts even 1 ball and 1 strike. I have a feeling that they are not going to let Adam Troy now finish this game based off the spot that he's in. One way or another, this is his final batter. At least you would assume it is. 1-1 to Overbeek. Down the left field line and sliced immediately foul, and Nebraska's down to their final strike.
Again, if he can pull this, there is so much room on the right field. If he hauls something down the line. They've now moved over the center fielder, Stickney, too. So right center or hard right field.
Troy sets, and the 1-2 to Overbeek. In the dirt, it's going to get away. Carey coming home, he'll score. This game is tied. Digging for third and reaching unsafely and being tagged out is going to be Preston Freeman. He's safe. Freeman is safe at third base, and the winning run is standing 90 feet away. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Overbeek. The 2-2. Called ball 3, and the count is full. Matson thought he threw a 1 pitch and got the strikeout. Anything close, you're Overbeek, you got to swing at.
Protect the zone. I mean, worst comes to worst. I mean, foul it off if you're Overbeek. Protect.
Matson sets the 3-2. Called strike 3. It will go to the 10th. Overbeek can't believe it. He doesn't know where it missed. And we've got extra innings in Lincoln. Bullpen has been really, really good outside of the 2 runs allowed by Grant Clevenger, as Andrew Lamb will lead things off 7-8-9 in this USC order. First pitch, a strike at 76 miles an hour. So Andrew Lamb today, he is 1 for 3. He had a single all the way back in the 2nd inning, and he walked in the 3rd. 0-1. Called a strike. 94 on the radar gun from Jay-Sean Unger.
That's what he does. He throws strikes. He's not scared. Put it in the zone. Let him swing at it.
0-2. This is high. 1-2. 93. Might as well try to get him on the high fastball. Now, maybe if it's at his helmet, that's not the best strategy, but we'll let Jay-Sean Unger decide what's best.
Again, the command.
1-2. Swing and a miss. Down goes Andrew Lamb. Unger goes and immediately attacks Andrew Lamb for the strikeout. And brings up Will Stickney.
What a job. What a 4-pitch sequence. I mean, obviously, you know, the third one outside the zone, so it's got him being a little bit more cautious, and then right back into the zone with the 4th pitch. Swing right through it. Beautiful job, and now a guy that has struggled at the plate in Will Stickney.
Stickney today has got the sacrifice fly, had another sacrifice fly where it ended up being a double play. His first pitch misses away from Unger. It was a 9-4-5 double play, not his fault. He got the job done, but it was just poor base running from USC, and then he flew out, and then he walked. So he's gotten on only once, but has gotten a couple jobs done. 1-0. This is high on Stickney. As he went around. No, he didn't. 2-0. Two balls, no strikes on Stickney. Unger sets and the 2-0. That one's a called strike. It's 2-1.
Keep with the attack mindset. Did great in the first batter he faced. He's got to get right back to it here.
2-1. This is high. 3 balls and a strike.
Now, this is where Unger has got to get something in the zone. Doesn't, you know, it's got to be one of your top 2 pitches and then finish them off with your absolute best stuff.
3 balls, 1 strike. The 3-1 from Jay-Sean Unger. 94, called strike 2. An unbelievable night at the ballpark here in Lincoln, Nebraska. As we've gone to the extra innings. 7-7 here in the 10th. 3-2 from Jay-Sean Unger. Called strike 3 again. Back-to-back Ks. And Maddox Risky comes to the plate. This was the crowd that much of Husker Nation and this Husker baseball team envisioned they'd see. It just took a while for them to come out.
You know, everybody knows the Nebraska faithful travel well. Obviously, football, that's the big thing, but this baseball team, I mean, they look down and out. They have battled all the way back, and, you know, those loyal fans are getting certainly everything they paid for tonight.
First pitch is once again called a strike. Oh, 1. Called a strike again. 0-2. 95 from Jay-Sean Unger. The 0-2 from Unger. Down and away. Called the ball. It's 1-2. Might as well try to give him a chase.
That's fine. You know, absolutely fine to do that pitch. You know, 0-2, you can do what you want with that third. Throw it outside, see if you can chase.
1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Jay-Sean Unger strikes out the side in the 10th. We'll go to the bottom of the half. It will be Stokes, Moyer, Worthy. Either one of them were worthy of being called strike 3. One was, one wasn't. First pitch to Rhett Stokes. Call the ball away. It's 1-0. The people on social media are voicing their opinions on if that is strike 3 or not. I'm not saying go to Twitter for all your news, but plenty of opinions are being shared over there. 1-0 to Stokes. Away, 2-0. Stokes, we mentioned, has done very well at home. Mentioned this earlier. He's batting .425 in home games into tonight. On-base percentage .488, slugging .600. His OPS over 1,000 with 11 RBIs and 1 home run. 2-0. Miss low. 3 balls, no strikes. Do you give Stokes the green light here? 3-0 green?
No.
Okay.
No. I play it safe. You know, wait for it. If you can get a walk, take it.
3-0. Stokes shows bunt, pulls back. It's a called strike. It's 3-1.
Now you have the green light. That's my thing is, you know, if you can get the walk, take it. Obviously, watch this pitch. Take the walk if it's very obvious. Otherwise, protect.
3-1 to Stokes. Ball 4. So the winning run is now going to stand on first base as they turn it back over to the top of the order. and Mac Moyer. Moyer 2-hit game, singled in the 3rd and the 5th. Is 2 for 4 as he walked in the 8th inning as well. It will go Moyer and Worthley. If we get any farther, you are talking about Case Sanderson and Dylan Carey. Mac Moyer, 2 home runs, 20 RBIs. One of the best bats, is 2nd in the conference in batting average coming into tonight's games. Moyer shows bunt, he pulls back. First pitch is a called strike. It is 0-1. The infield was ready to charge in, and I think they just want to put Stokes onto second with 1 out. Now Moyer's got good enough speed where if he bunts it well enough, he could get on safely. They will check over on Rhett Stokes. Again, to the displeasantness of the Nebraska faithful. No balls, 1 strike. What a night here in Lincoln. Looking for a win over USC. The 0-1. Moyer shows bunt, pulls back. You can say went around, no. Counts even 1-1 as it missed low.
I don't think there's a better guy you could have at the plate. Obviously, 2 for 4 in the day. Not the greatest showing, but still he's hitting 500 on the day, so not bad by any means. Great leadoff guy, just needs to get something through, move a runner.
1-1. Moyer tries to lay down a bunt. He will. Matson grabs it, throw onto first. It's going to get by. Rounding third is going to be Stokes. He's trying to come home and score. He will. Nebraska walks off USC on Friday night. An RBI bunt for Mac Moyer. He's the walk-off hero in Lincoln.